When looking back at the many characters with a pirate theme throughout Transformers history, there's one Decepticon that truly takes the name of Captain. Today we will be taking a look at our first of many toy-only characters from Transformers Cybertron, Cannonball. And to help me tell you all about the history of this character is none other than one of my closest friends, Bot's Obsession. Come in and join us as we tell you about the toys from Cybertron. Hi, and welcome to the first episode of the Toys from Cybertron. And I'm joined with a special guest, Bot's Obsession!
That's me. I'm here now.
That's him!
That's me. And I'm clean.
So, for the first episode, I thought we would do something special for the both of us.
Yes.
We are going to be talking about Cannonball.
I love Cannonball. I love Cannonball.
We love Cannonball!
I love Cannonball. He's one of my, in terms of like toy-only characters, he's definitely up there. I have the same ones that you have. I want the BotCon one, but I don't have him.
Eventually. At some
Eventually.
point.
One day.
So, we wouldn't be doing a service to Cannonball without giving a little bit of a backstory. Cannonball, I would say, is one of the first pirate-themed Transformers. Would you agree?
Him and the those Beast Wars 2, the Beast Wars 2 repaint combiner of Piranacon.
Yeah. Now, in 2005, and was part of the toy-only line for Cybertron. You could get him in a variety of different ways. You could get him in the single car, or if you wanted downshift, you could get a 2-pack with him and downshift. And then eventually they did future iterations, but I think we'll get to there in a little bit. Tell me about your Cannonball experience. Like, what's your story?
Cannonball's been like one of those characters who I've really loved, and I have a lot of fun. This is actually the one that I've had. He's one of my few childhood Survivor toys. I got this Cannonball, I think probably Christmas 05 or like whenever he was first available with downshift, and I got him that Christmas, and I just held on to him ever since because I was like, oh, he's really cool. He's kind of piratey. He has the Oingo Boingo skeletons on him, and I'm pretty big on like the 80s goth music scene and Danny Elfman, so I was like, oh, that's really cool. Even as a kid, I was like, oh, I know this album, I know this CD, and so it's like, okay, this is a really cool little guy, and I've liked all the little features. Mine doesn't have his hammer, but I still have his claw in there, so I have his key, and like he's just really cool, really fun toy. It's the repaint of the Red Alert, I believe.
Yes.
From Cybertron.
It was one of 4 repaints. I think it was the first repaint they did for Red Alert.
He's just good. It's also one of like the best molds in my opinion, because it has all the articulation you could really want out of a toy from the time.
For sure. So as for repaints, they did. There was Red Alert at first. Cannonball was second. Then I'm pretty sure they did Crankcase for the 07 line. And then in the Wings of Honor 2009 set, they did Cup.
I forgot about Cup. I forget that he's part of the family.
You're probably in better condition. I mean, I don't have the weapons. I'm not cool.
Yeah, mine has a pretty gnarled shoulder joints because I've tried to touch them up. And like, despite him being gold plastic, something I learned about gold plastic syndrome maybe like 2 years ago. Like when I first got into major collecting, I was mortified at Cannonball because I was like, oh my god, he has all this clear plastic and all this gold plastic, but no, it turns out he doesn't suffer from it. He's like just a really sturdily built figure. So
yeah.
It holds up. It's a fun mold. It's also the transformation is really cool because he does the just talking about the toy itself, because there's not a lot of characterization for him. I believe it's just like he's kind of a dirty dog pirate. But like the legs do this thing where they come from the front and back of the vehicle, and like they split open, and then they combine together to form his legs. It's a really cool toy, and I like him a lot, just for not only engineering purposes, but in just how it transforms and how he looks. And it's easily one of the most fun redecos and repaints, and I think just the fact that we've seen Cannonball since this iteration, I think it just shows that people really locked into this black and gold color scheme for him.
So my story with Cannonball is very interesting. It was one of my first BotCon conventions. I went with my dad. I think it was 2017. There was a guy selling stuff outside of the convention center itself. It was probably like a day or so before. And I look at the box, and one of the figures I found was Cannonball. And I picked two out of that box. I picked Cannonball and Downshift, which I didn't realize Downshift was part of the 2-pack until years later, which made it even more. I loved it. But Cannonball, like, seeing that skull for the first time in just the black and the purple, I'm always a sucker for black and purple Transformers. So it's like, this was a guaranteed yes. I think I only got it for like $20, maybe 15.
Yeah,
it was well worth. I think we should talk about one thing that Cannonball did for the future of Transformers, and that was help iterate the idea of the Star Seekers.
Yeah,
I know this is a big one that you enjoy a lot, so I'll throw it off to you.
Yeah, the Star Seekers is my favorite faction in Transformers. They are a group. They got a little bit more fleshed out in Transformers Prime, but Cannonball is kind of the first member of the Star Seekers. We would see Cannonball. It's mentioned that he has like a pirate crew in his bio, and we would see basically a version of his skull that's on the back right here get turned into a faction logo. I believe at BotCon 2014 is the Pirates
I'll post
one.
the picture up.
Yeah, and that was like the first time we saw the Pirates and Knights. It was the first time we saw the Star Seekers logo, and and that was the first iteration of the Star Seekers. And then I believe we actually it was like building upon something that was hinted at in Thundertron's toy bio from Transformers Prime, and there was like a novelization, and then that all kind of became one thing. And this is where we get a lot of Cannonball's lore as well, because he's actually when we look at his BotCon bio, it turns out that like Cannonball is like this dude who's like he's like the Dread Pirate Roberts, where it's not exactly the same guy every time. Cannonball is more of a title, and it fleshes out him, it fleshes out the Star Seekers, talks about Tidal Wave. That's where you get Flame War and Ferrac, and this would later go on into what we'll talk about later. I don't think either of us have the 2014 Cannonball to kind of show off, but it was a repaint, much like how he was a repaint of a medical officer in Cybertron. He's a repaint of Ratchet, Prime Ratchet, in the 2014 set, and it's a glorious repaint.
So there's not really much of a story behind Cannonball in Transformers Cybertron. He's just kind of those one-off repaints that ended up blowing up into future continuities, such as like the Prime continuity, as we were saying. But more or less, it just is one of those toys that resonates with people because of the color scheme, because of what he's like, the future of it stands for. So because of that, I don't have much to say as for the Cybertron character as one hell of a repaint. But the next time we saw him, I believe, was the BotCon set.
Yep.
I forget what year it was, but
it
like
should be 2014.
Yeah.
It's right around there. It's not. It's either 2014 or 2015. It's one of those two.
Yeah. So, and you spoke on that. And then here recently, we got the Legacy version of Cannonball, which was a retool of Crankcase and the Skids mold, which I personally think is one of the best molds from Legacy.
Solid toy.
And, I mean, they even were able to incorporate the weapons storage.
Yeah, they got they got that, and because it's off of Crankcase, it has the shoulder missiles. They got his cyber key in there. a kind of fun thing, you mentioned it, that the Red Alert mold from Cybertron was repainted into Cannonball and then repainted into Crankcase. And so it's kind of funny that now we have Crankcase being repainted and retooled into Cannonball.
We're definitely still. I'm still waiting for the actual Cybertron Red Alert out of this.
One day.
One day.
Because now it exists. Now it's just him. You have it. It's right here.
Which is crazy to think that the repaint came first.
Yeah.
This time around, rather than the original character.
It is really interesting because, like, when they did the Laser Prime mold, I kind of thought maybe they'll do Scourge first. I thought maybe they'll do him, but when it came to, and I think it helps that he was part of the dedicated Starseeker toy line, like the wave of Starseeker characters, and the fact that they had this mold kind of ready to go, like, it's like Crankcase is pretty close, could probably just do a new head on him, but they went really above and beyond because they did the door shoulders. Mine has the Toy Hacks labels on them, but they did the door shoulders, the new hand, they retooled the inner shins, they reshelled the entire vehicle aside from the doors on the side. Like, every vehicle part is brand new on him. It's incredible how transformed they got Cannonball to look like his like this one. And even though it's not perfect, I definitely would say he's one of the better legacy Cybertron toys.
Looking at it gives me more of a vibe that they were going for the original design. But they were off. I mean, even if you look at it, it's giving mimics of the BotCon figure too.
Yep.
Of how nice the legs are, like how clean the upper body is, and then you still got that stylization of like the front and grill and all that. And even in vehicle mode, it's like it's still the original Crankcase, but it's got that modern touch of the BotCon.
Yeah, and instead of being it also changes him from a 4-door SUV like the Cybertron one into like a 2-door subcompact, which is kind of interesting. It almost makes him look more like a tuner car than like an SUV like his original one, which is that it's fun. It's a fun redo, and it makes him feel a little bit more like he could do like a getaway chase or something. And I like him. It's a really, really good not Crankcase. It's a really, really good Cannonball, and there's few figures I think need the Toy Hacks, but I really think the Toy Hacks make this one shine.
Without it, I mean, you just get the skull faces and you don't get the bones.
They're Vok, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool that they're Vok.
Gives a bit of a Beast Wars homage. But there's the difference.
Yeah, and I'm a big Skids mold defender. It was a good choice. I don't think they could have gotten Cannonball out of another mold, and I think it also helps that Cannonball has so much new stuff on him that the issues with Crankcase kind of went away, because Cannonball is like the most. I've had this as Crosscut, I've had it as Burnout, I've had it as Crankcase, and I have it as Cannonball. This one has the best tolerances. This is the best version of the mold. No,
I agree. The joints are all tight. I mean, nothing. Well, there goes the T, but like nothing is loose.
Yep.
No matter how. I mean, that's like, me forcibly shaking.
Yeah, like you gotta want him to move, but like if you pose him, he's not moving, which is and it's such a good color scheme, and it still works. And again, he was part of an entire wave of Starseekers, and it was a lot of fun. I know that some people weren't, like, there was like a worry that because these were like, just if people have forgotten how weird the Starseekers release was, they put them out for pre-order, and then like 4 months later, there was still no word on if they were hitting stores, and none of them had shipped. And so it's like, then 6 months after they went up for pre-order, some of them went into stock online. Thundertron was immediately clearanced, like off the dome he was. Ferrac was too, and it's like, what is going on? And then they were out of stock, like everywhere. You couldn't find them. And then another 4 months went by, so 10 months after they were initially put up for pre-order, that's when they started to trickle out in stores. And I don't think Thundertron, the leader class Thundertron, I don't think he ever hit American markets. I think he was only, like, I seen him at Ross.
Up until Ross, yep.
Yeah, he was just gone if you didn't buy him online. It was really weird. So that, like, as they did hit stores, and I know that they didn't really shelf warm. I feel like a lot of the people, I think Filch was the only one who really shelf warmed.
Yeah. That, and I felt like Road Pig was the one I saw the most.
Yeah, like
Because
those two.
Cannonball didn't show up for me until like tail end of when the Toxitron series was starting to show up.
Yeah,
like I got it that late. I wouldn't have had mine until I got it from shout out Faraday Toys, but like, yeah, I got lucky.
I lucked out. I overpaid because, again, but it's also because Cannonball's like one of those.
I think, yeah.
I got him off Pulse whenever he was in Pulse on stock, and I was like, oh, so it was like $35. This was back when deluxes were cheap. This is before they were expensive. But I got him for like 35, and I was like, fuck, that's a lot of money. But it's also Cannonball,
so
and yeah, and I love this figure. It is such a good mold. It's one of my all-time favorite characters. If I could find the BotCon one, I would, and I would just have all three of them, because you can have 3 Cannonballs, and you could just be like, yeah, that's how he's evolved over time.
As for history, that's about it for Cannonball.
Yeah.
Until we get him into a mainstream whatnot. He was just a pirate traveling through the... Let me retro that. He was just a pirate traveling through space, you know. Had nothing to do with the show. It was just purely a toy-only character. And honestly, the repaint sells the story for himself.
Yeah. This really is a case. Cannonball is one of those few cases of, like, because I know, like, when people think of like Unicron trilogy like mainstays, I feel like Red Alert, they think of Armada Red Alert. So I think it's kind of awesome that Cybertron Red Alert's tooling does get to live on in a repaint that's as dope as Cannonball, because it's like, oh, well, we want to put that mold out there, but we want something that people will recognize, we want something that fans want and will buy. Let's just put it out as Cannonball. And it's really cool, because then it means you have that baked in extra character. Apparently 2 extra characters, because Crankcase and Cannonball have shared molds twice now, so it's like, okay.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much it. Thank you for being a guest on the first episode of the Toys from Cybertron.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast. Just yapping with my friend about cool toys.
It's been fun. This is Bot's Obsession. I will leave a link to his channel down below. Thank you for tuning in.